Alrighty, somebody wanted me to check out this video by Abba and Preach. Apparently a 31-year-old woman did a really bad thing to somebody who is the opposite of that age. And they didn't get jail time. Incredible. Let's see what we got here.
Today's topic.
Action investigation. A 31-year-old woman who admits to having sex with a 13-year-old boy and then becoming pregnant with his child won't face any jail time under a plea deal with prosecutors.
You remember South Park? Nice. Just kidding. That's really messed up. Jesus. What? How? No jail? Oh, maybe they were going to execute her. Maybe that's why. Why would they not give her jail time? Like, there's no way. It's going to be because she's pregnant. They're going to say because she needs to be able to be out to take care of her kid. Wow. What? I guarantee you. Plea deal prosecutors which forces her to register as a sex offender but keeps her out of jail. Oh, wow. What a settlement. If it was the opposite, you'd put the guy to death. Let's be real. Justifiably so. That's crazy. My son will have to live with the trauma for the rest of his life. Yeah, maybe. It's possible. Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's terrible. And he's got to be a father. Are they going to make this kid pay child support? Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. What could be the justifier here?
Prosecutor
Adam Serrano gave birth to a baby boy. She admitted to having sex with that 13-year-old. The victim's mother, who we're not going to identify in this story, tells us she is not happy with this deal offered to a woman she says ruined her son's life.
Okay.
What's the deal?
No jail time.
And you do what?
Well, they're probably gonna do probation. They're probably
She's registering as a sex offender, which should happen anyway. So it's like nothing. It's so stupid. The whole situation is pretty messed up.
some supervised. You're on offenders list. I didn't know you could be on an offenders list and have a child.
First thing first.
Yeah, well,
am I the only one that thinks that's kind of weird?
I mean, if you're willing to molest a 13-year-old boy, what's to say you're not going to molest your own child? Actually, true. I mean, it's crazy. Like, she should go to jail and have the kid taken away from her forever. But I guarantee you she's just getting like a more lenient sentence because she has to have the kid now. It's terrible stuff.
Imagine being put on an offenders list and also being allowed to keep your kid. Is that a thing?
I mean, if the offender is a woman.
True.
I may be unaware. I actually don't know how this shit works.
Yeah, well,
that's crazy.
Because there's plenty of offenders, I'm pretty sure, who do get to keep their kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing first, you have to understand one thing that pops up in their mind. It was sexual assault, even though if there was intercourse and there was a kid. Because in the law for certain people, for certain states, for certain places, it's only men that can rape. It's only men that can, you know.
Is that true that only men can sexually? I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure it was considered like sexual assault. I don't know if I mean, that could be true. It's not true wherever she was, because of the judgment. I think that's in like England. They might have done something like that. Yeah, she was charged with sexual assault, so I don't know what they're talking about here.
It's only men that can. In the law for certain people, for certain states, for certain places,
I don't know if this is true.
It's only men that can rape. It's only men that can, you know. And since it was consensual or whatever.
Wait, you just said
What are you talking about?
all that, but I actually don't even know. Is that true? Are you sure?
In some place, well, because of the way the law is made, because it's written that it's a penis.
I don't.
Right, but that's not like that in America.
It depends of the places. Or
I think it's like.
Okay, wait, hold on. I don't think he's right, but okay, there was a law. I think it was SB 48 or something. Fuck, in California, where like it was written into law that like the penis would have to be involved. Yeah, sure. There might be areas with dated language. I don't think that people would generally. Maybe there's some like dated language for some stuff. I guess possibly. Okay, sure.
Penetration is what they define as.
Well, yeah, penetration. That would be the terminology. Sure. Sure, dated language. It would be nice if he told us like what places. I feel like that's like a really, it's just like a weird random thing to say without like any. I don't know, but I also probably don't need to focus too much on that point, so I was just a little confused.
But penetration by what? Because if it's not the member of, so if it's fingers, it's not going to be considered grape because if it's fingers, it's not grape. In some places is has.
I think he's confusing like dated language for like an actual judgment. Like we're at that point now where that's changed. Like you still be considered sexual. I think like Ruth Bader Ginsburg fought really hard to have like a different federal view of this. I have to look more into it.
Be penis.
Okay,
you know what I mean,
I'll take your word for it.
But or you could check.
No, I'll take your word for it. It's fine. Keep going.
Depending on where you are, so it could change. So there's that. So it was assault. Like if it was a man doing that, it would have been a whole lot of charges. So and then after that, the no jail time is a mess, bro.
Yeah, that's just pretty.
Like I can't.
I mean, you have to imagine.
A lot of swallowing ASMR here.
13-year-olds at school eating PB and jelly at lunch. Tim, how's your son? That's wild.
You don't even
as a 13-year-old, like that's crazy.
Well, I think that the worst part is I don't think it's beyond speculation to say that he's probably going to be forced to pay child support for this. He might potentially have a trauma. It's likely. I mean, maybe he won't, I guess, if people have different interactions with different things, but it still doesn't make it okay. But he's probably gonna have to pay child support, like honestly, which is fucked up. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna get so upset. Sorry.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah.
That's
13.
insane.
You don't even eat your own. You don't even do your own lunches, but you're gonna eat your teacher's lunch. That's crazy.
Okay.
You know what else?
13.
If she gets to keep the kid, think about this. Think about this. Think about that. That being said, the grandma wants to see her grandchild. She got to visit her child's grandpist back in Barbados eating coconuts by the water.
I was picking coconuts in Barbados.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know.
You're foul.
So, that being said, coconuts by the. That being said, this is actually a serious topic, but I just can't.
But it's
No, think about it though. You want to see your grandchild, you got to go see your child's rapist.
yeah.
Your child.
Well, we can push it a step further than that. True, you'd have to see that, but then also, grandparents don't get any parental rights. So if she wanted to see her grandchild, she would have to, her son that was sexually assaulted would have to have a relationship, like a copacetic relationship with the, with the parents, with the mother. That's I think is pretty fucked up too. You know, it makes sense that grandparents don't get like visitation or whatever, but she shouldn't have access to her own kid. It's bizarre because like who's to say she's not going to assault her own child? I'm going to lose. Oh my God, I'm doing so well too. I was doing well. Sorry.
I want to see their kid. They got to work out an agreement. It's going to be what's on the grandma because she's going to be the one who's going to have to do a lot of this middlemaning. But that is insane. She has fucked up this kid's life in so many ways. Forget childhood. It's like he's a kid having to raise a kid, but he's not even ready to raise a kid. Like he's never gonna go through that 18 to 24-year-old phase where he's figuring life out. He gotta be a parent right away. It's already one crazy thing to do that to not even wear protection, to not even do that, like to fuck up his life that way, and for her to get 0 jail time.
My girl, you are sick and demented, my girl. There's issues there. There's issues.
She fucked up his life. She fucked his life up.
I'm going to say one thing, but like even saying that she has issues, which is obviously true, like you wouldn't say that about a guy who raped a 13-year-old girl. You would say that he should be dead. So like even here, like I think even Preach is like unintentionally treating her a little differently if you think about it. Because like you have issues, yeah, probably. But like, isn't it weird how we look at that? Like you have issues. She has issues. But if it's a guy, it's like you should, it's interesting the way that we deal with these different things, and talk about them. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, shit's pretty fucked, man.
And whoever the prosecutor is, like, this is a smoking gun. She's too old. You got the sperm. This is what I suspect. I think the reason why they did the plea deal, and this is my suspicion, is because who's going to take care of the kid?
Yeah, that's what it is. Of course,
I can't go to jail. I can't birth the kid in jail. And I can't take care. Like I gotta take care of the kid.
That's the only thing. Because if this was a woman, I don't think they would. If this was a man who had done this, I don't think they would have shown him envy.
No,
of course not. I wonder if I don't know, man. Like, cause what do you do? Because the father can't take the kid because the kid shouldn't even be alive. How terrible for. I feel bad for the unborn kid too, because that kid's not asking to be born to a rapist. And then, like, how do you? That's horrible. Jesus, that kid's gonna get so bullied, bro. That's so bad. Jesus Christ.
I think it's because of that.
She is not happy with this deal offered to a woman she says ruined her son's life.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like my son's robbed of his childhood. Now he's having to be a father.
Yeah.
He's a victim, and he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life.
This mother says watching her son struggle with the reality he now faces breaks her heart.
What has this been like for your son?
It's caused him a lot of depression. He's shut down a lot.
Now she questions why this woman won't face prison time.
I feel like if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would definitely be different. They
Oh,
would
100%.
be seeking incarceration. And I feel like because she's a woman, they're not. They're having compassion for her because she was pregnant. But I don't think they take into play, again, she was pregnant by a child. You know, that child was created from a sexual abuse.
Under terms of the plea deal the suspect signed off on, she'll be required to register as a sex offender, and the judge could sentence her to 10 years to life of sex offender intensive supervised probation. But Serrano will avoid any jail time since the DA's office dropped the original charges to a lesser charge that does not come with mandatory jail time.
Really?
Parents be looking for.
What's the lesser jail time that they got?
Don't trust anybody, honestly. I mean, you can't trust anybody now.
True.
The victim's family says they are looking for the next step.
Oh, so it's the victim's family. Because the prosecutor is not trying to do that.
No. But the thing that happened is if she doesn't get custody of the kid, walk your ass to jail. Walk your ass to jail.
They're not changing the plea deal.
No, they're not gonna change that once it's made. I'm just saying.
No.
The victim's family says they are looking for the next steps in this case, and they'll actually ask the courts to give custody to the 13-year-old of this baby. Adam and Lindsay, what we do know is that
that would be good for the child.
The 13-year-old they'll actually ask the courts to give custody to the 13-year-old of this baby.
It's interesting because I was thinking before, I'm like, it would be a better solution, ideally, based on the circumstances, to keep that woman in jail forever and just take that baby away and give the baby to, the other child, custody. Would make more sense to me, right? Because then you can't get the excuse, well, she needs to be... No, she should be in jail for a very long time. But I was like, there's no way they're going to want to raise that kid, but I guess they do, which should be better off for that kid, 100%. Jesus, man. This is fucking crazy. But then, like, what happens if you did that? Does the mother just, like, do, like hold it hostage in some capacity? I just wonder. It's all fucked up.
Adam and Lindsay, what we do know is that Serrano has a hearing coming up in May where she will learn how much probation time she'll have. Currently, Serrano has full custody of the baby. Back to you.
That is crazy. This story might be the most crazy story I think I've read on this channel. Imagine being able to grape someone, get out of jail because you're pregnant, and also get to keep the baby as an offender of underage.
Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world.
Any thoughts?
What the fuck? Sorry, the song.
Go ahead, hit him.
It's like, what do you want me to say at this point? There's so much things and so much depth in this. Just the fact that she's a woman, plays in part. The fact that they she has to have custody of the kid, a whole ass offender. It's like sometimes these story makes you think, am I the only one that's saying and see that there's a problem in there? They don't see the problem. They just think it's...
I think the biggest issue is probably the judge who's in charge. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but whatever, they're operating with like some kind of mentality where like female offenders aren't as bad as male offenders. And I will say, like, there might be a difference in the way some women and men operate when it comes to sexual offense. I don't know, because men tend to have a physical power dynamic, although she was literally sleeping with a child. So, but I mean, it's still discussing behavior. So,
okay.
Jesus Christ.
What you looking for?
So does need more info?
We should force her to get an abortion.
Now we don't know what was the relationship. Like, I assume it was.
But is the kid born already? Is that what it is?
Right.
They didn't mention that. So.
But they didn't mention that, so it's probably not even the teacher. And when the mother said, "Yo,"
she got neck tattoos. I don't think she's a teacher.
Yeah, and then she said, "You can't."
She got neck tattoos.
Oh, I assume she was a
you
teacher.
can't trust nobody, so it's possible
Was she like
that
a
someone
babysitter?
close
What the
to
fuck?
It generally is.
Yeah.
It generally is someone close. It's just I don't know. I can't. I don't.
Oh, wait. Run that shit back.
What?
Her name is Serrano. Okay, they didn't say the name of the kid. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Was he gonna say it was
at some
like
point.
I think they're probably just not mentioning how she met him or whatever to protect the kid's identity.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that makes
Because they're a
sense.
child, they're a minor. And it doesn't really matter. I think at the end of the day, most people who offend do it to people close to them. That's how vast, like 95% of all these things go. It's rarely strangers. So that's why she probably said you can't trust nobody because it's in relation to that. But I don't know. What do you want me to say, man? I mean, at some point, you got to stop just complaining. Like, oh, the world's unfair. I mean, like, I think people know. So it's just one of those things where apparently you can rape a child, and if you get pregnant by them, you might get off. And that is crazy. Anything else you want to say?
Nah, man, this is just crazy. I'm just trying to find something on the mom, on the perpetrator.
The perpetrate. All right, yeah, that's pretty gross stuff.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.